All right, hello everybody. Welcome to tonight's Sublime Text Package Development live stream. I'll be your host as always, OdatNurd, aka Terrence Martin. Welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the channel. We will be continuing along with what I was working on in the live stream last week, which is finishing up the bookmark commands. I have actually done not this project is exactly as it was at the end of the last project. I didn't really have much time this week to do stuff like this. I was working on setting up some other things. Although I did, while I was thinking about what I did in the stream, realize that I made a couple of missteps here that weren't in part of the original plan that I'll need to rectify going forward. But we are going to get ourselves some bookmark systems set up, and once that's done, if there's still time left in the stream, jump on into the last big thing that I would like to get done before trying to convert this code into an actual Sublime Text package dependency, which is some sort of history action. Now, of course, the help view already does have history in the form of being able to take you back and forth to places you've been and maintaining the actual visual position, but this list grows unbounded. It would be nice if it was constrained to some physical boundary of some sort. And also, we'd like to be able to have up here in the hyperhelp menu a list of the items instead of just saying back and forth. I mean, we will have these items here anyway, but above this split, there would be a list of like the last 10 history entries for you to easily scan through if you were so inclined, and maybe something akin to the um, table of contents or index that shows you the history elements this way, so you could filter and choose which one you want and jump directly to that section of the history. That's what is planned if we get finished the bookmark stuff in the 2-hour stream. So let's jump on in and see what happens. Quick business out of the way. Remember, I have two channels. I have this channel. I have an OdatNurd channel. This channel you're on right now, so you totally know what channel this is. I have another channel, the OdatNurd channel, also a channel that contains YouTube videos. There's a link to it down in the description below. And if you watch the video all the way to the end, there will be cards that allows you to jump to that video or to that channel. Both of these channels are Sublime Text video related channels. The other channel is just edited videos, which are scant at the moment until the start of the new year because of things that are happening with live streaming all through the month of December and here in November. And here on this channel, all of the live streams happen where I do live package development, plugin development, that sort of thing in Sublime Text. Feel free to join in the live stream while it's happening. Hop into the chat and ask questions in comments, ask questions on Twitter at OdatNurd for anything you see in these videos, anything you'd like to see in these videos. And as always, subscribe and potentially bell notification icon so you can be notified when new videos have arrived. Thank you for watching, and let's jump into this. Now let's start off by smurging this thing to see where we left. So we can see the very first commit for our bookmarks were a simple command to open a particular bookmark by showing you a list of bookmarks from a bookmark setting in the command palette, which is this bookmark index handler here gets all of the bookmarks and shows them to you. And when you select one, the command to open the bookmark is executed. And we also added that command here to the Sublime command, so it's in the command palette and in the main menu under our help section. And that's all we did in that particular commit from the looks of it. This is double check. That's the only file that's in here. I cannot. Huh. Okay. Now over here as unstaged files, we have a whole new command. Now I could swear that actually there was some other code here. Yeah, see it says there's 3 files. Oh, maybe that doesn't work now because I can do this instead. Oh, okay, there you go. That's how often I have been doing stuff with this lately. So that's the file we were just looking at, the command that does stuff, the main menu, and the main menu. No, those are the same files that I was just seeing. I could swear we added somewhere in here um, the commands like bookmark name. Were those added in a prior commit? We don't really need to. Oh, that's right. They were probably added in this commit here, which is in master and not in the bookmarks thread or branch. All right, that makes total sense. So yeah, there's the master. Here's where we added API methods to get all of our bookmarks, get the name of a bookmark, from a dictionary along with a name. This stuff is still, this is in the commands file and not in the appropriate API file while we're deciding how exactly it all should work, and the setting that actually stores the bookmarks. All right, so what do we have as unstaged changes here in this directory? We have a new command called create bookmark, which is not the correct name for this particular command, which we'll get to in just a second. It's also being added to the main menu, but the main thing here is the bookmark type input handler that allows you to select whether you want to bookmark this file, the topic currently under the cursor, or the current viewport in the help system with descriptions for how those work. There is also a name input handler to allow you to input the name of a bookmark with some debug code still in place. And here's the actual command, which, as I just mentioned, is actually the wrong name. So let's go ahead and fix that first, because this should be called hyperhelp prompt create bookmark command, because this particular command, which is not going to work until I fix the other files, so we may want to go ahead and do that as well. Let's see, there was a main Sublime menu in HyperHelp that has some changes. It's not a preference, it's down here. It's actually HyperHelp prompt create bookmark there in the menu, and the Sublime commands in HyperHelp also has one where it should be prompt create bookmark. We'll close that, we'll quit Sublime and fire it right back up, and fire up our 2-hour timer starting now, because I forgot in my incredible zeal to get rolling. This is incredible. We're 8 minutes in, almost 9 minutes in, and actually doing stuff. I hope I didn't talk too fast during the business, but I think we all know if you like what I'm doing here, you should subscribe to the channel and like videos and so forth. In fact, I think I even forgot to put that in there. In any case, HyperHelp prompt create bookmark. Now, that is HH Korea. I just saw it in the dang thing. Oh, right. Part of the reason why I was actually was trying to demonstrate there, and I forgot while I was confused. HyperHelp create bookmark is going to ask me what kind of bookmark I want. Do I want to bookmark the current file, or do I want to bookmark the current view? It's going to ask me for a name of the bookmark. It has its own little custom what it should be called there. And I hit enter, and what happens? Nothing right now because nothing's being implemented. This command, as we have just seen me fumbling because I meant to describe it and forgot. You see the only bookmark commands is open bookmarked help topic, because this command is actually, as we can see here, enabled only when the current view is the help view, and there actually is a current view, and the index for this package is actually loaded, because we need to be able to interact with this thing. Now, that means you can't create a bookmark unless this particular help view is focused. But I want to have a bookmark command, a hyperhelp create bookmark command that just anybody can invoke in their package or as a key binding or whatever, that just creates the bookmark that they have been, asked to create. In which case we need a separate command to actually do the creation of the bookmark, because that shouldn't be context sensitive on whether or not the current view is a help view. Because it doesn't need to examine the help view to figure out what it should do. It just does it. Now, we'll see how I think about this when everything is all done, because perhaps this shouldn't be just enabled in a help view. But it doesn't make sense the way this is asking you for if you want to bookmark the current file or the current view or the cursor, the bookmark, the topic under the cursor, when the cursor is not under there. So it would have to prompt you for completely different things. It would have to prompt you for what package would you like to create a bookmark for, what topic in that package. That is maybe useful. So maybe that's another command in addition to this command. These are the sorts of things where my mind can just sit and spin off hundreds of things that I could do, but I don't like to do that sort of stuff unless it really interests me until I get more experience with using what I have to see if I think something is missing there. And, of course, getting eyes on it by other people to see what they think is missing. Because one of the key aspects to good software development, I find, is knowing where to draw the line. This is the sort of thing you see all the time in the Sublime forums and whatnot, where everyone says, Sublime is great, but it would be even better if this one feature that I like was just built in so that I don't have to install a package. And that's fine. Maybe that's actually, nice for that feature. But when enough people say that and it happens, software stops being a small, tight, integrated thing and starts being large and bloated. I don't want to impugn anybody from, say, the IntelliJ JetBrains community for their incredibly massive amount of features, so much so that you practically need a book to use the thing if you're not used to it. Because I'm a nice guy. One of the things I like about Sublime is that you can, add to it. So I don't like to just throw every possible feature I can think of until I personally see how it's going to work. Now, I said I found two problems with this. One is I wanted this to be called prompt create bookmark so I can create an actual create bookmark command. And the other thing, and we're going to have to go through this code just to see how it works, is that I was a little backwards in thinking that it should, if I do create bookmark with the cursor on an anchor, that it should say this topic. That shouldn't happen on an anchor. That should happen on a link. Because while it is possible for me to write code that figures out, based on any visible anchor in the file, what the topic associated with it is, there is now the possibility, as of a few streams ago, the ability to mark an anchor with an ID of _none, which means it's not in the index, it's just there for tab key navigation. And if that's the case, you can't bookmark that thing. And that is not what you want, but it makes no sense to create a bookmark that goes to no topic. So a link that goes to no topic. So that's actually how that should work. And I think if I look in here for meta.anchor, we're going to see, yeah. Okay, so let's go right to the top of the file and just vet all of our changes. What did we change in this line? It used to get logs setting, the current help package, and the help prompt. Now it does the help package prompt, and we get the current help file and the current help package because we need that elsewhere. So that's good. The bookmark type input handler takes, it shows you a list of these items. This is the text you see. This is the argument that you get. And now let's go ahead and see how this works. It captures a help view. Technically, this doesn't need to be a parameter here because we can grab it. Everywhere that we're calling this, we're calling find help view anyway. So this isn't something that technically needs to happen. I'm going to leave it for right now because we're going to see, as things go on, An optimization to this is if we like these input handlers and this command the way it is, then yeah, this command is only ever active when there's a help view, in which case we don't need to be past a view, we can just look it up. But until then, maybe we actually want to keep being told explicitly what the help view is, for test purposes or because we change how that wants to work. So the list items are, you can always bookmark the current file and you can always bookmark the current view, but this should be meta.link and not meta.anchor so that it happens here and not here. So I think now because I did that, if I did, oops, the right thing, create bookmark, which is that one, I get this file and this view, which is what I would expect. And over here, when this is here, now I get this topic and this view. But there's still a problem with this because it's actually trying to pull information from the view because there's another one of those. So let's see, that's the preview that tells you the appropriate stuff. And this jumps you to the bookmark name handler if one wasn't provided. And here's the bookmark name handler. Here we're getting the bookmark type that was selected or provided in the arguments so that we can figure out what the good bookmark name is. And this is the code that we were working on at the end of the last package, which may need some cleanup. So here's what we're going to do to start this. It's saying the initial text of bookmark block, so we could, I think, see that happening down here. Initial text for bookmark of type file, and if I did this, it's in, and we got to pick, say, topic. Initial text for bookmark of type topic, and create bookmark of type view. Okay, so that is not something that we actually need anymore. And how do we get the initial text for the name of a bookmark? Well, first we have to look up the package information in the help index for the currently displayed package. And we know that always works because currently the command that this is invoked in only works inside of a help view, which is one of the reasons why we want to have two commands here so that you can create a bookmark without there being a help view provided, but you can also prompt, and you can only prompt and it can only make valid choices here, or what I consider to be valid choices, when there's actually a help view for it to grab data from. Now, if it only does something if there's a selection, it gets the point and that the cursor is at, the first cursor is at, and it is an anchor. And if that's the case, we don't want view subster. What we want to do here, and I'm going to have to look this up, we're going to say anchor region is, oh, no, we want to say, sorry, link region, which is something that apparently already appears in this file somewhere, is self.view.extract scope at point. So that's going to take a point anywhere within an anchor and expand it out to the entire text inside the anchor thing like so. And then there is, I can't remember what I called the API function or where it's actually stored. Or maybe I could use the global symbol list and say link region. No, how about just region? Find help view find the target. Okay. Here in the bookmarks, or sorry, here in the commands file, there should be a navigate command, and navigate command, if you're following history, does that. Otherwise, okay, that is enabled. Follow link is down here for follow link. Here it has to actually match text.hyperhelp metalink. We don't have to do that because we know that the view that we're getting past is the actual help view. View extract scope. Oh, it's an underscore. Where is this thing stored? In help.py. It's not an external API point. Okay, well that might explain some stuff. Oh, before I get too far along in here, I'm going to open a console over here on this alternate window. So those errors that occur can catch my eye. Now, we need to jump back to the input prompt create bookmark. Oh, I forgot. Those are all one big lump, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Bookmark name input handler. Oh, my shoulder is killing me today. I spent 2 hours peeling pomelos for lunch bowls this week. And all of that tension and sitting in one position has really racked my left shoulder somewhat. So let's get back to here. We get the link region by asking this to extract the scope and then the topic data. And here we again need to change this to self.view because it's not a help view. Now, and then we don't have to look up. I don't think we have to look up help topic, but I'm going to double check that by jumping to the definition in the help. Provided a help view, return back an object that provides the package and topic ID that the link references. Okay, so we do actually have to do that. So this is the magic thing where you provide either a link region, i.e. something like that, or you provide an index. And there is a list of regions in every file that is what underlines links and makes them underlined like so. And you can look up a link topic in one of two ways. You can provide that numeric index, and then it just finds that index in the region list and returns the information associated with that link. Or you can pass a region, which is what you would do if the cursor was just in something, and it uses that region to figure out which one is the one you were asking about. But what it is returning is an object that contains the package and the topic that this thing links to. So we do actually have to have more data here, because we don't want to subster that. We don't care what the visible link is. We care what the hidden information is. And the topic can look up, and in order to figure out this, what we're going to do just quickly is type print topic dat, just so we can see what's happening there. So if I put that there and create a bookmark of this topic, but reload the package first. Oops. Create bookmark this topic. No, huh? I'm kind of confused at how that is in fact not doing anything, because it really seems like it should be. Oh, no, the cursor's totally in. Oh, I did not change the text of this. I just talked about doing it. Oh, boy, that's embarrassing. All right, one more time with feeling. Create bookmark to this topic. We can see, there we go. We're getting a package and a topic. We don't actually care. Well, we do care about that, because it can actually be anywhere. So in that case, we need to swap this for something. So this is an interesting conundrum, because we're assuming that what? Oh, right, there was a lot more stuff that has to happen here based on the type of the bookmark, right? That's right. That's the part that I said needed to be done. Okay, so I'm going to gank those for just a second. Oh, but I'll actually select all of them so I'm not confused. And come on down to initial text. And let's work through exactly how this should work. The self.bmark type, the bookmark type, is one of file, topic, or view. So we might say if self.bmark type is equal to topic and the length of self.view.cell. For our purposes, let's work. There are several ways to do this. I'm trying to pre-optimize in my head for how we can maybe make it readable and at the same time, um, work the way we want without being too kludgy. And I'm just thinking in my head that there are certain conditions that have to happen for there to be a the ability to use something with topic. So we don't want to say if the type is topic and the length of this is greater than 0, because it also matters that that matches, and having those three things all in one big long line is say a bit of a but. So we might say link info is equal to none, just to start with. And then we can say if the length of self.view, that was already wrong, .cell is greater than 0, and now because we're using self.view so much, I'm going to say I'll say v equals self.view, just to tighten this up quite a bit. So this is a lot shorter. So we can say self.view, that's v. If the length of the view selection is greater than 0 and v.match selector at the point of v.cell 0.b and meta.link, in that particular case, we know that there is one cursor, at least one cursor in the buffer, and the first one is on a link. We can say v.extract scope for v.cell 0.b. Now this is one of those things, I extracted it out as a variable to make this part easier, but we can't easily extract it as a variable without first testing if the length is greater than 0. So we're going to do that, and that's going to give us the entire region that encompasses a link. And with that, we want to pass that to getLinkTopic, and the result is going to be link info. It's going to be equal to that value. So upon entry, to figure out what the initial text of this bookmark name is, we alias the name of the current view, set link info to none, and then in the very specific case that there is a selection and the first cursor is on a link, we extract the entire area of that link as a region, pass it to getLinkTopic to get link info, which is telling us the package and the topic that are going to be linked to. And in that case, we can say if self.bmark type is topic and link info is not none, then our initial text is the caption being linked to, right? And I'll throw a pass in here just to keep this valid. Otherwise, what is going to be happening here is our initial text is the title of the current help file. And why is that the case? Because the two types that aren't topic are file, bookmark this current file, in which case you want the bookmark to default to Sublime Plugin List Input Handler class, because that's what this file is named. And if the name is if the type is view, then we're bookmarking just whatever we see in the window, whatever the cursor position is, whatever the first selection is, this is what comes back. And this is in that file. So it should still use that as the default title, right? So now we can get rid of that and move that over there and get rid of that thing. So now let's see what else we can extrapolate here, because what we're ultimately trying to do is use lookup help topic to figure out exactly what should be displayed here. And so we can get an actual topic. Now here I declared link info to be none because maybe we're going to set a value to it, but maybe we're not. So it needs to be definitely initialized with a value before we enter. Here, this path and this path can both set a topic type variable like so. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter which path it takes through. It's going to still have topic set to a value, which is what we want for the next part. Now I'm just thinking here, if the bookmark type is topic, but there's not link info, then the default name is just going to be based on the current file. And that's not something that should actually happen because it should only allow you to use topic if the cursor is actually on one, as we saw in the list items thing in the bookmark type. Only adds it if the current help view is on a link, then it inserts this topic. But it is possible for the user to just invoke the command this way. So we're just going to fall back to using a bookmark name that is the name of the file because we've got nothing else to do in that case. We have to degrade gracefully. So in this particular case, we could say package info is equal to help index list get link info, package, that's what that was called there, right? And if package, oh, maybe I do need, we'll do it this way, topic equals none. We'll see how it comes. If package info is not none, then topic is equal to, no, I don't even need to do that, do I? Maybe I just need to set a package info and a topic name. No, we actually need to look up the topic because we might look up the topic, the name of the file, or we might look up the caption of the link that's being set. So, okay, let's see if we can work this out in our heads and in the code. So if the bookmark type is topic and there's link information, then look up the package information for the package under the cursor, because remember, this doesn't have to link to the help package that's currently visible. It can link to anything. It could even be actually linking to an external file that HyperHelp would open, or a link that it would open in a window, right? So it could be doing any of those things, so we don't need to worry about that part here. And if the package info is not none, then we can look up the topic by doing what? What's that code I just commented out? I can look up the help topic, and the help topic that we're looking up is in the package info, and the text of the topic is link info topic. If package info is none, then we can't look up the topic because the link is linked to a package that doesn't exist. Now here in this part, our initial text is the title of the current help file. And in this case, we do what we were doing down before, where package info is equal to help index list dot get current help package as a function. And then again, if package info is not none, the topic is equal to lookup help topic. Oh, no. Sorry. Do it this way. We can return it directly in that case. So maybe that's what we do here. Okay, so yeah, I forgot what this thing was actually trying to do. So getting the initial text, if the bookmark type is of type, if we're bookmarking a specific topic and there's a link under the cursor, then look up the package under the cursor. And if it's not none, we can look up the help topic and return topic.get. Oh, actually, we don't even need to do that. The index guarantees that all of the keys are there, even if it has to come up with them itself. So if the bookmark type is topic and the link info is not none, then do that. Now, failing that, I have an else here. The else is so if the bookmark type wasn't topic, this would happen. If there wasn't a link, this would happen. This only happens when both of those are set and it returns in that case. There's no need to else this. There's no need to pass this. And now we can do the stuff that was already down here. We first say the package info is the package index for the currently displayed help package. And if package info is not none, and file and package info.help files, then we can immediately return package info.help files. Oh, good catch. Okay, where did file come from? It's the current help file. So let's gank that part up too. So that's the part I just wrote. There's that part. Okay. Return package info help files file. So if the bookmark type is topic and the current cursor is on a link, then we try to look up that topic and return its caption. We get to here if that's not the case, or that is the case, but the cursor's not actually on a topic. That means the user created a command link, like in the command palette or bound to a key, to open this with a parameter that doesn't apply right now. And in that case, the next best thing to do is just treat this as if you said file or view, which is to say, look up the help index for the currently displayed help file in here and get the current help file. And if we looked up the index and that file is a valid help file, return its title directly. And what's left here is for the case where the type is topic, but it's not on a link, and it can't look up the current help topic for the currently displayed help file. What would be the default name of the topic in that case? And I think the best we can do is something like this. File is the current help file, and we're going to change this to this value with some brackets. So in that case, the default topic name, if it can't look one up, is to just give you the name of the current file. I mean, this topic, this bookmark may not actually work, and maybe it'll fail down the line, but we got to provide something there as a default. So I've saved that. That seems to be working. I'm going to Control F5 that. Now let's see. List input handler dot list items is the caption for this. So if I go there and I create bookmark, and I say this topic, the default name is, ooh, there's an error in the console. Get link topic missing one required positional argument. Oh, did I bone something up here? This takes 2 arguments, I think. Needs to take the help view too. Whoops. It needs to be passed v and v extract scope, like so. Okay, reload that. Okay, let's try that one more time. So I am on a link and I create bookmark up to this topic, and I get list input handler dot list items, which is the caption for that bookmark. And if I push enter, we can see it saying create bookmark type topic with name list input handler dot list. So that is working. If the cursor is anywhere else, when I create bookmark, I can't get that one, but I can say this file, and I get Sublime plugin.list input handler class. And I can also create bookmark and get this view, which also gives me Sublime input handler class. Now, one thing to test here is this thing here. What if this command was executed with topic as the bookmark type, but there's not a link under the cursor? And in order to test that, we need to go here. And this is this command we created for prompt create bookmark. We can say args, and in the args we can say bookmark type, and the type is topic. Okay. Now that's going to mean that when I'm here, whenever I implement the command, it just automatically has assumed topic as the argument. So I'm pressing enter there. So here I am actually in this, and when I run it, I get list input handler list items. So it looked up the caption the way it's supposed to. That's the test we just did. Now I do it here, and I'm getting Sublime plugin list input handler class because that's the name of the file currently in the buffer. And as a matter of fact, just to even test that that is the case, and we don't need this because it's not used anywhere, so we can remove it. We can say this, print returning caption of link under cursor of topic from link under the cursor. Okay, and here we can say returning the title of the current help file. This one we don't need to have something to say what it is because it's going to be pretty obvious when it happens. So let's reload. Now double check when I'm in this one. Should that not have printed something? It looks like it pulled the name of the file. I'm going to reload that one more time. Okay, if I do it here, no, that should be working. This is the bookmark name, which is the field that is not there, right? Yes. Is there a way for this to return without saying anything? Yeah, this one. Well, maybe I'll put a print there anyway. Returning the default. Do that, and returning the title of the current help file. See, why didn't that do that a second ago? I don't know. If I do it here, it's returning the caption of the topic of the link under the cursor, which is what we expect. Now, that is working. I'm going to edit this help file. It's list items in preview. We're going to change this to a package that doesn't exist. And then come back here and reload the help view. Now that link is broken, because I can't find it anymore. What happens when you do this on a broken link? Returning the title of the current help file, which is what we said to do, right? Because it didn't go inside there, so it's doing this. Now, to further test, if I do this, we can see that the name of the current file. And I change it to test.txt. Now, when I do it in this link, I get file test.txt in help package Sublime API, because that's just the default. And the same is true out here if I do it here. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this back to the appropriate value. Copy and grab that and put it here so that that goes ahead and works as expected. And I'll revert that file back to the way it was, and we will discard all of that business and that business, so we're not passing that argument to that command any longer. And now create bookmark for this topic. Okay, so we can remove that and that and that. And what we have is the ability for the bookmark name input handler to figure out a default name of some sort. It will use the topic of the caption under a link. Oh, I should probably reload this so that link fixes itself again. So we can just double check that when I create there and pick this topic, I get list input handler. But if I pick this file, I get the name of the file. And if I pick this view, I still get the name of the file, which is 100% what we want for all of those. And it comes up with some kind of default in dire situations. And now the Piper help prompt create bookmark will be invoked with the bookmark type and the bookmark name you've provided. And we also know that it is only happening when the current view is a help view. So what we need to figure out here is a package name is going to be something. The topic is going to be something. There might be a caret and there might be a viewport. And how we figure these out is dependent on the bookmark type and the bookmark name. Now, unfortunately, this is one of those things where we're gonna have to do some duplication of logic that we used here. So we can say if bookmark type is not equal to the what's the thing called there? The topic one? That's the one, right? Let's go ahead and grab those and pull them down here one more time just to remind ourselves of what this is doing. If the bookmark type, well, if we want to be the same as the above, then we want to say if the bookmark type is topic, then we can do what we did up here, which is all of, let's just grab all of this for the time being. We don't need the caption, but we do need, actually, we only need this part. We don't need to figure the caption because we've been given a name. We're just figuring out what the bookmark should actually be for, right? So we come down to hyperhelp prompt create bookmark. There's that there. Let's ding that and say if the bookmark type is topic, then it goes into this. Now that's going to have, it's not going to be view.cell. V is going to be find help view, which we used right there for the active window, which is the default. We just used that there just because we were also grabbing other stuff, but well, we might as well. We don't need to do that, but we can say sublime.active window just to ensure, let's say, readability, because I know that find help topic does that, and because I'm the one that wrote it. But it was a while ago that I wrote it, so at some point I'm going to forget. Like I don't remember how any of the history stuff works, right? Let's see. So we find the help view in the current thing. We do not care about that. But we do say if the bookmark type is topic, if there is a selection and the text under the cursor is a link, then the link info is, now that's at 80 characters, but there's only so much we can do. To get that information, and then we can say package name is equal to link info package, and topic will be equal to link, whoops, link info topic, which I believe what it was called. It's mad because these lines are here. Okay, and let's just scroll back there and double check. What did we see when I did that? How far back would I have to go? Would it be easier for me to just do it again and see? Dun, dun, da, da, da. Remember when that time it was broken? All right, well, I'll just look at the code then, shall I? Where's the code? Link info topic, link info package. That's the one. Yawn alert. Okay. So find the help view. We get that if it's topic and this. We get the link information. Now maybe again this needs to look like what it did up in that other code. Package information, topic is information is that. We want to actually execute the command here with that information. I think we probably do. Sublime.run command, and the command we're going to generate is hyperhelp. Well, I'm going to do that, but it's not prompt. It's just going to be, it's a command we haven't written yet. And it's going to take args where the package name is link info package, and the topic is link info topic, and the name is bookmark name. Okay, so if the bookmark type is topic and there is at least one cursor and the first one is on a link, and we can look up the link information because this might actually be null, right? Okay, now we're getting into the area where I want it to look more like it looks up here. Because That little bit of code is a lot tighter, I think, than what we're seeing here. So we don't always need to have link information, but we're going to try and grab it anyway. So if there is a first cursor and text under it is a link, then we look up the link information. And if we say the bookmark type is topic and link info is not none, then we don't have to do that or that. We can just do this, and I'm going to return that value. That's actually the same as this. Because commands can't really return a value, so as an idiom that I personally like, even if it's not necessarily Pythonic, is to return the value of a command that's going to return none anyway when this command doesn't have a sensible return value that anybody cares about, because it allows me to inline this stuff. So now, if the bookmark type is topic and there's actually a link under the cursor, then we can go ahead and create a bookmark with the given name for that package and topic, where the topic and package come from the link itself. Failing that, the type is either file or view. And either way, we want the package name is equal to the current help package, and the topic is equal to the current help file. And then we can say if bookmark type is equal to view. In that particular case, then caret is equal to now v dot cell 0. And now that's not necessarily correct at the moment, and viewport is equal to I'll do this. Viewport extent, viewport position, I think is the one we want. I think that's the one that we're currently using. So we'll just double check that by searching in hyperhelp for viewport underscore. If viewport is not none, set viewport position, show at center, hyperhelp core, set viewport position. History data is view.viewport position, right? Good. v.viewport position. Oops, I don't want the set, I just want the v. Thus, and we don't need this any longer. We don't need those, but we're going to pull these down to here, let's say. So now we can tighten that up. So when the command runs, we find the help view. We look just to see if there's a link under the cursor or not. And if the type was topic and there was a link under the cursor, we call hyperhelp create bookmark with the name, the package name, and the topic that we were provided. Otherwise, we get the current help package, the current help name. We maybe get viewport information, but only if that's the case. And then we can sublime.run command, and the command is hyperhelp prompt create bookmark, but not really prompt. I just had a lot of stuff I didn't want to type there. So we're going to dike that part out, and we're going to pass arguments, and the name is going to be bmark name. And this is where we're maybe going to be able to tighten this up. Package name is, we don't even need the thing. We can just say current help package. And the topic is always the current help file. And then we can say caret is caret and viewport is viewport. So we don't need these values either. Maybe we even tightened it up even more. Caret is equal to v dot cell 0. Oops. Cell 0 if bookmark type is equal to view, else none. And viewport is equal to v dot viewport position if bookmark type is equal to view, else none. Then we don't need that if. And because these values are just being used here, we can do this, but I'm not going to just yet for reasons that are going to be obvious in just a second when I presuppose that that is going to explode the command when we execute it. And if you've watched enough live streams, you would know why that might be. Now, the question becomes, is there a way to, if I set the package name variables from there instead of from here, then this can fall through if I so desire. So maybe I want to do that. So I can say package name is going to be current help package because that's what it is here, right? And topic is going to be current help file because that's what it is at the bottom. And if the bookmark type is none, is topic, and there is actually a link, then we can say package name is equal to the link info for the package, and the topic is equal to the link info for the topic, but don't do this. Then the caret is either the first cursor location if the bookmark type is view, otherwise it's none, and the viewport is the viewport position if the bookmark type is view, otherwise it's none. And now we can come down to here and change this to package. My fingers are one character off. That can be package name. This can be topic. That's caret, and that's viewport. And there is a problem because this doesn't have a comma. Okay. Now, for our purposes here, oh well, we don't want that. We want this. I'm gonna go ahead and add that here. So class hyperhelp create bookmark command, which is another application command with an argument of run. It's going to take a package name and a topic. Caret is optional and viewport is optional. And this is where it says creating bookmark for some package, some topic. And we can throw in package name and package topic. Oh, and just topic, sorry. And then if caret let's say with caret like so, and say yes, caret is not none, else no. Whoops. No. And with I'm not having a good day today. Do I ever have a good day? Where actually is the code that I was screwing around with? This one. With view. And we can get rid of all of that. And we actually need to add a comment there. And we need to add a comment, well, on both of these, really. So let's go ahead and add one here first and say interactively prompt the user to create a bookmark, asking them if they want to bookmark the current file, the current viewport, or the topic that the link under the cursor would display. This invokes the actual command to create a bookmark if the user follows all interactive prompts. That sounds about right. And I need to reflow that one a little bit. And this one does the work of actually creating a bookmark. Oh, I forgot the name. Thus. The order there doesn't matter except that the caret and the viewport have to be at the end because they have default values. Because if you don't provide them, who cares? You can still bookmark a particular topic if you want to. And that's how you would go about doing that. If you provided the appropriate thing, does the work of actually creating a bookmark using the given information, which is assumed to be correct and is not validated prior to generating the new bookmark entry. So let's see what happens. I'm going to go back to here, and the cursor is just in this file. Create a bookmark to this file with the name of the name goes here, and the console, not all arguments converted doing this. I mixed my metaphors there. Whoopsie whoopsie. Let's do this. %s. There we go. Let's try that again. Create bookmark to this file. Title is here. And we say creating bookmark for Sublime API, list input handler with caret. No, okay, so I forgot to actually include the name. Bookmark %s for, so we can add a name in here. Okay, now we're hooked up. We'll even reload that whole package, although it's not strictly needed. Click over here. We want to, oops, I want to unfold that. We want to create a bookmark in the current file, in which case we can say my file bookmark, and the console says creating bookmark, my file bookmark for Sublime API list input handler.txt, which is the current file, which is what I said, with no caret and with no view. Okay, I can also say create a bookmark of this, for this view, and this is a view bookmark. And when I hit enter, oh, what's broken now? Did I don't understand exactly what happened there, so let's see. It called run, in line 286, which is this one. Oh, right. That's actually the problem that I think I expected to have, because the cursor position and the viewport both need to be specially set up. Let's see. Let's jump to here. So the viewport position will actually work, but the selection won't. Okay. Well, I am down with that. But I would have thought that that was the one that would cause the problem. Just for giggles, let's comment that out temporarily. So if I said create bookmark for this view with a view bookmark, okay, that sort of did what we would have expected. So let's throw viewport in, because that's where it had a problem last time for this view and that. And now see, it says with caret no, with view yes. So it is the caret that's causing the problem. And the reason for that is this. Whoops, I meant to wrap that in brackets. Dot A, dot B. Because a selection is a region, but a region is a special type that can't be transferred in the argument of a command, which is why the history information that we just looked at over here converts it into a tuple. Close that and close that. Should have a bit more luck now, I think. So if I create a bookmark for this view, title, creating a bookmark title for Sublime API list input handler with caret and with viewport. And I'm going to put it over here and create the bookmark for this topic. And now we're creating a bookmark on the title is list input handler.list items, and it's for Sublime API list input handler.list items, so that'll actually link to that topic with no caret and with no viewport. So that is doing what we want, and all we have to do now is actually make this create the appropriate bookmark. Now, over here, we can see what my bookmarks look like, and this is the part where we're going to be unhappy once I start doing this, because this file will be rewritten by Sublime. But we need a bookmark is going to be equal to this, where the name is name and the package is package name. Maybe we want to change that argument. And topic is topic, like so. And then we can say if caret is not none, then bookmark caret is equal to, well, we're going to change how that worked up there too. But I think we were going to get this as an array, but we'll find out in just a second. Is equal to caret, and if viewport, oh, only in this particular case, right? If viewport is not none, then bookmark. Oh, wrap that bad boy. Viewport is equal to viewport. That's just a bit of a sanity thing because we know the code that navigates to a bookmark won't access the viewport unless there's a caret, and in which case it does. And if there's a caret and not a viewport, it uses a default viewport. There's no need to have a viewport in there. And now we can change this to just print creating and actually provide bookmark as the bookmark to be created instead of all of that. Now let's go ahead and see what that looks like again, because it should be pretty straightforward. I'll open the console so we can see it. Oh, I'll join that line. There we go. Now I'll open the console and create a bookmark to this file with that name, and it's creating in the package Sublime Text the topic list input handler with the name of Sublime plugin list input handler class. What we expected. Create a bookmark for this view, same title. Now we see we're getting the package Sublime API with the topic of list input handler, and the caret is list, and the viewport is an array, which is what we're seeing here, and it's got a name. So that is doing what we want. All we have to do is insert the bookmark. Now, get bookmarks is here. We're going to def underscore add bookmark. New bookmark. Now we'll just call it bookmark because that's what the other one is. And we're going to say, given a valid bookmark dictionary, add it to the list of user bookmarks in the settings file. Right. And we need the ability to set a setting. And I, in fact, do not have something like that set up. So we're going to just hack this hardcore just to see it working and then fix it up in a minute. So what we would say is, actually, let's hack it in a way that we know. Happens in plugin loaded. hsetting.obj is the thing we want. Okay. So the hyperhelp setting object dot. Okay, we need to get the current value of the bookmarks. So bookmarks is equal to get bookmarks, and then bookmarks dot append the new bookmark, and the setting object sets bookmarks and bookmarks to put the list back. Now for our purposes here, I'm going to put this here. I'm going to copy this entire buffer. We don't need this file anymore. So I'm going to create a bookmark on this file with the default name. Oh, I need to write the settings to disk. I forgot. This is going to be interesting. Watch this. Oh, it doesn't show up in there. I thought it would. Oh, it's not a save from here, is it? No. It's save settings with the base name. Okay. Okay. Bookmarks equals to get book. We get the list of all the bookmarks. We append one. We set the setting bookmarks to the new set of bookmarks that has been modified, and then say sublime.save settings and hyperhelp.sublime settings. And if you're not familiar with these settings API, when you call load settings, which is what the thing here is doing, in the up here, Sublime load settings, we give it this name, and I'm even going to copy this just to verify. It creates a settings object based on this file name, which has no path because there's more than one of these files. It can be any of them, a number of them in any packages in any locations. So allowing you to provide a path here would just ensure that the settings never load the way you expect them to. And once that setting object is loaded and parsed, anytime anyone else calls load settings with that same base name, you just instantly get the same object back, which is why I'm just caching it here to save even having to make that particular call. And similarly, when you call save settings on the same name, and I'm going to paste in what I copied, so just to verify, then what it saves is back to, it figures out what settings object needs to be written because it's already been loaded. So again, I'm going to come over here and copy that. Now let's try it one more time, and I'm going to create a bookmark for this file with that name, Sublime module. Oh, you know what I should actually do? I should actually call the command and not just print something. That's embarrassing. Hyperhelp, create bookmark command. That explains why I didn't add to the settings even after I saved it. So I'm going to do that, remove that, save that, reload. And actually, for our purposes, in common over here, was it in common? No, it wasn't. Underscore add bookmark. Just temporarily, I'm going to do this. Okay. So we're going to see over here, this is the file the way it looks. If I say open bookmarked help topic, I just see those four. Then I add a bookmark, or create a bookmark in this case, to the current file with the default name. Now nothing changed in the file, but when I open a bookmarked help topic, now there actually is one. And if I go to it, now look, it's the index. I picked the wrong one, didn't I? I bookmarked Sublime module, sorry. And it takes me to Sublime module. Let's go back to where we were. And similarly, if I'm on this, I can create a bookmark and say this topic, which is the Sublime window class, it's created. And I can open a bookmarked help topic and go to the Sublime window class. And here it is. But this file isn't being updated, right? Watch this. I'm going to copy sublime.save settings, and the settings to save is the hyperhelp.sublime settings file. Boop. And my file has been rewritten. So now everything's still in here. Bookmarks comes before date format. The comments went away, and here are my bookmarks in the order that they originally existed in, with the two new ones at the end. And that is the call that this was making. So let's go ahead and say def hh update setting with a key and a value and a save, which is false, and say set the value of a hyper. Oh, that's actually got the wrong business, doesn't it? So set the value of a hyperhet help setting to the value provided. Optionally, the call can also persist the change to disk. And for the purposes of this, we basically want those two lines, right? We want the hyperhelp settings object to set the key to a particular value, and if save, do that. And now I'm going to copy that, and over here we get the bookmarks, we append the bookmark, and then we hh update setting bookmarks with the new bookmarks list, and save is true to persist those changes to disk. So I can come back over here and let's click there and do a create bookmark for this topic. And I did not reload the file. Jiggity jang, man. Get on a roll. You realize you should probably import a setting. By actually importing the code. You figure the 9th time is the charm. The last bookmark known as the window one. Then you click and view. You try it one more time and hope you don't still look like a doofus. And there's a view class where there used to be that and the settings were reloaded. So I'm going to put that file back to the state that it was initially in, just because. And we now have the ability to actually add a bookmark. Now we've done this in two ways. We are prompted to create a bookmark, and or we can be prompted to create a bookmark. And again, for our own purposes and edification here, I can also say sublime.run command hyperhelp create bookmark with a name of test, a package. On this, we might want to change this. A package name of my package and a topic of my topic. And when I hit enter, it's added to the file. Completely unverified. So let us again put that back. So we've gotten two different versions of that going now. Oh, we need an extra line there, like so. That one's got two, that one's got two, that one's got two. That's what we want. Let's just do just a quickie change here. The input handler is doing what we want. The input handler for the name is doing what we want. Open bookmark we didn't just implement, but prompt create bookmark we did. And let's say that this is package instead, but with the appropriate thing. And down here, the hyperhelp create bookmark command We'll do that just because that makes the arguments of this command match the arguments that are in the dictionary over here. And for our purposes, as a sanity check, we're going to quit and restart. Things seem to work. And again, I'm going to copy that text and create a bookmark to this topic with that name, and there it is. It has been added, so it all still works. And just so we don't get captured into some terribleness, I'm going to create a bookmark for this view, which is the Sublime window class, which is the name of the file. And now I'm going to follow that, and I'm going to open a bookmarked help topic to the Sublime window class, and I end up where I was. So this is an important thing that I had forgotten that I wanted to do. In the prompt create, we do like so. We don't want to do it there. What I'm thinking of, we want to do it here. This is the bookmark name input handler. If the bookmark type is topic and it's got a link, it figures that out. Otherwise, it gets the name of the current file, and we do that. If package info is not none and file is in that, then let's do this. Let's say name is equal to that, which also has the benefit of making that just hit. Then here we say name is equal to that. So the name, that's is the default name that it's going to get. If we're told it to create a bookmark on a topic and we can actually do so, the caption of that topic is returned directly, which is what we want. Otherwise, this is a default name, and we also look to see if this file is in a package information that we looked up, in which case we want to use the title of the help file, which again is what we want. We're using it this way so that we can say if self.bmarktype is equal to view, then name is equal to name plus, well, yeah, we'll just say view like so. And then return name. And the reason for that is specifically for things like this. I follow, is there anything here that's nothing? I'm looking at the sheet class, and I am way interested in this for the purposes of showing it to somebody. So I create a bookmark for this view. And oh, I have a problem with my code. Local variable file referenced before assignment. Oh, right, okay. Yeah. Well, let's move that one up too. Okay, let's go for that one more time. Because there's a method to this madness. I'm going to create a bookmark for this view. Now it's saying Sublime view, Sublime.sheet class view as the default name. I can change that if I want, but I'm going to leave it. And then I go to the window class, and then I say I want to open a bookmark. And when I come down here, I see Sublime Sheet class with view after it, which lets me know that when I do that, it's going to restore the viewport and the selection. But when I do the window class one, see it's doing it, but I didn't expect that because it doesn't say view on the end. And when I pick this one, it's doing the same thing and I'm not being told. I'm doing the same thing, I'm not being told. Here it's linking to the actual file. And if we link to an actual topic, it would also similarly do that. Basically, this is a usability thing so that when we see a bookmark that's actually going to reset the viewport and not just display a topic, it should warn us about that. So let's go ahead and put that back. Now, in order to follow on with that, none of these have names. So the default name should maybe have that too. I don't want to enforce that on people. It's just a default to something that you can do, but you could go ahead and fix it. And if people don't like it, we could always go ahead and make a setting for that or something. So that is the ability to be prompted for a bookmark and the ability, as we saw here, to just flat out create a bookmark. Although, again, I'm going to copy that. This has to be named package. So as a package developer, as a user, I could, if I wanted to create a bookmark via command, it doesn't even require a help view to be active. For example, if I did this, there's no help view at all, right? So I can't say create here, it doesn't appear. But when I do this, that still happens. And if I want to open a bookmarked help topic, I can bookmark, jump to test, and we can see, I think we saw something in the status line there about that not being valid. Or that command is just actually broken when there's not a... Oh, it can't. That's right. That's a fail-safe for the command. It doesn't know what to do. It does nothing. So that's maybe something to look at. But that allows us to programmatically create a bookmark even if there isn't one. So the last thing that we'd like to add maybe is a context menu command in this menu to bookmark something. So let's see about that. Now again, this is one of those things where we're going to feel our way out because one thing we could sort of try to do, I'm envisioning this, okay? I'm envisioning we're going to be able to right click anywhere in this help file and there's going to be a command that says bookmark this file. But if you were to do it on top of a link, it would say bookmark this link instead. Now, either way, it's gonna try and prompt you for the name of the bookmark, right? So one thing that I could do is create modify this open, oh, sorry, not the open bookmark command, the prompt create bookmark command so that it could be used in a context menu type situation. But the code in this, although it's kind of complicated, not super complicated, but maybe we want to do this in a different fashion and say hyper help context create bookmark instead, and that is a command that is only valid in a context menu, and it can be dedicated to that, and it can call prompt create bookmark with the bookmark type already set. I think that is the way to go. Now, in the past, in Override Audit, in version 1 of Override Audit, I experimented with the idea of one command that can do all of the context commands because they're all fairly similar, and there's a argument that used to tell it which argument or which context menu entry to use. And that was good to begin with, but it quickly became a pain in the butt to try and modify. And actually, I have unreleased changes for Override Audit version 2 that split that up somewhat. I just say this is not also just for use in the context menu. We probably also want it up here as well. Well, we have create bookmark there. So maybe we don't want that one in the menu. Maybe we do. The create bookmark command that we can see in the menu there is going to prompt like so, right? Um, and it's going to ask you what you want to do. So maybe we actually want uh, a command for bookmark current file or something. That's something we can look into. But I really like the idea of doing this as a separate context command. So I'm going to say class hyper help context create bookmark command. And it's going to be an application command. Whoops. And we're going to say is enabled. Maybe this one should be a text command so that it doesn't have to do this. I really don't like the idea of having 100 windows open and then having 100 instances of the same command just for the purposes of the helps, because I'm trying to make this as lightweight as possible, let's say. So we're going to do that. Let's see. Get the active window, get the current view in the active window, get the help view in the current window, and the current view is the help view, and the current view is not none. And help view dot match selector at position 0. Oh gosh. No, we're going to do it this way. Get view. And well, actually, well, self. And we'll put this in there. Get the active window, get the current view in the active window if the window was not none. No, we won't. We'll do it in a different way here. We're going to say the help view is find the current help view. Well, yeah, in the currently active window. If help view is not none and window.active view is not equal to, is equal to help view, return help view, return none. So the idea is we call get view, it either gets the help view or it returns none. And it's doing a special check to make sure that it's only returning when there's actually a help view in the active window, and it's also the active view, which is the same as doing sort of a text commandy kind of thing, but at the expense of having only one instance of this object at any given time. So if this is command is going to be enabled, then we need to say self.getView is not none. Only in that case is this command active. Now that seems to have worked. And context to Sublime menu, I don't have one currently in HyperHelp. So let's save as this in packages. Boop, boop, boo. Probably should have just typed it. It's down here because it's lowercase in resources. And so now there's going to be duplicate commands, but that's okay. And we're actually not even going to provide this thing a caption, come to think of it. We're going to take that out and take that out, and we're going to say HyperHelp context create bookmark. Okay, and remove that. So there we can see it, and it's disabled. And here we can see it, and it's enabled. And currently it's at the end. So let's see, I need to pull one of these, I think. Oh, that's not going to do it, huh? Okay. We'll just do that. HyperHelp author. Okay. Oh, sorry. It's at the top now, and it's actually valid. And when you pick it, nothing happens because the command doesn't do anything. But it's definitely valid. So we actually want another one of these below it. That's what I meant to do. My bad. I got confused about what order it appeared to be in there. Okay. So now we see in the view where it's not valid, we see there's an underscore, so there's a separator and then that command, and here there's a separator to separate it from HyperHelp author, edit this help file, and edit this help index. But it's there, here, and disabled there. So for our purposes, that menu is what we want, and is enabled is doing what we want here. And we're going to go ahead and say def is visible and return self dot is enabled. And the reason for that is now it doesn't appear in the menu over here, but it does appear in the menu where it's valid. So it's just going away now. And we also want to say description, because we want to provide our own caption for this command. And we can say help view is equal to self.getView if help view is not none. Because it's we want to guard ourselves against the situation where description is called when there's not a help view, even though technically the command should be both disabled and invisible in that case. Because maybe we might want to change that in the future, and this will cause problems in a way that we don't expect at that point. So you hardly ever write a method assuming that you're going to break it later. So if help view is not none, now we're not going to here's something I actually want to test. I'm going to return none here and return none here. Okay, now notice I'm going to save this in the console. See how it says type error string required? If we look over here, well, at this exact thing, window command description, but all of them are the same. Return the description of the command with the given arguments used in the menu only if no caption is provided. So this doesn't work in the command palette, only in the menu. And return none to get the default description. But you'll notice that The default description is basically just the name of the class, hyperhelp context create bookmark, uppercase, but every time the menu opens, type error string required appears there. And this is actually, I think, a bug in the documentation because all of the command classes subclass from one command and the description method in that command returns an empty string. Excuse me. And you see, if I do this and return an empty string here, it's still invisible there. Here, I still get the default, but I don't see type error required. So I personally think that uh, because the base class returns this, I think inside the core, if you return none, the core catches the exception, doesn't display the stack trace, just displays the text of that, and then says, oh, well, you said none, so I'm just going to use the default anyway. And it does that. So I really want to change my documentation for that. But I'm going to do it that way and then say if the help view is not none, then we're inside the help view. One of two things can happen. We can say if help view dot match selector at position 0 with meta dot link. Then we're going to return hyperhelp bookmark this link. Otherwise, we're going to return hyperhelp bookmark this file. And if there's no help view, just in case we return the empty string. So now here I get bookmark this file, and here I get, well, oh, sorry. Here I get, haha, derpity derp. View dot cell 0 dot b. Now this is going to be one of those things that potentially breaks. In fact, let's go ahead and check that in a second. But now, help view. Okay. Bookmark this link if it's on a link. Bookmark this file if it's not on a file. Now watch as I say view.cell.clear. There's no cursor in this buffer. If I right click here, I get an index error on line 338 in description because there's no cursor here. And because there's no cursor, view.cell0 is out of bounds because the selection is actually empty. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to say if len v.cell is greater than 0 and v match selector there, do that, otherwise do that. So now, if I right click on here, I get bookmark this file. Oh, actually, I'm doing this slightly wrong. I want event is what I want. Only text commands can get a want event, huh? Well, Nertstoodle? All right, then. That's going to be a text command. We no longer need that. And we don't need to do, view is equal to self.view now instead. And here the command is only enabled if self.view.match selector at point 0 is text.hyperhelp. dot help, which is this, as opposed to the index. And is visible still only enabled that way. And now we're doing that. So technically speaking, with a reload, that's the same as this, except now there's more of them. But that gets me here it says bookmark this file. Here it says bookmark this link, and over here I don't see it at all. So it's still doing what it was. There's more of the instances of the command that I want. I mean, that's not really a big deal. I've just been trying to keep this lightweight and not doing that. But what we actually want is to say def want event, which we're going to say self, and we're going to return true. The default is false. Now this should immediately break, I think, once I reload things. Maybe only I was returning the default now in the description method. Oh, we don't need to test if view is not none. That is silly. We can bring all of this back. That makes that part nicer. And okay, so now it's not there. Now it says hyperhelp context create bookmark. So it's not calling the description method at all. And the reason for that is because of this and this and this has a new argument that it's being called with called event. Because we said want event to return true to receive an event argument when the command is triggered by a mouse action. Okay, so now if I open the thing, now we see is visible as missing one positional argument event because I didn't pass it. All right, so I got to pass event like so. So reload, that's okay. Here I'm bookmarking this file. Here I'm bookmarking this link. But what we actually want is for that to pop there. And for this, I'm going to search for want event because I cannot remember. It's in the core. Zoom it out. View target, I think, is the magic. Well, let's see where event is used. Oops. View context, event, event, event. If event is not none, package at point event. That'll tell me how to use it. When I go into extract. If event is none, return none. Window to text. That is the magic that we want. So we don't actually want to say that. We actually want to say if event is not none. Then this. And we want to do that where we can say v window to text event x event y. And now we don't need the length of the selection because we're not getting the selection we want. Whoops. View to match selector at point. Reload, that reloaded. So let's see over here. It does nothing and the console is happy. Here in this file, it says bookmark this file. If I click inside there and do it, I get bookmark this link. But even if the cursor is over here, when I right click on this, I get bookmark this link. And the console is happy about that. And even if I said view.cell.clear, so again, watch, there's what the selection looks like up there, and the cursor is on line 36. There is no selection, there is no cursor. If I right click, I get an index error. So there we go. Wait, what? It's executing a different copy of the command. Oh, that's the. Oh no, my smurge command is dumb in a way. Oh well, that one's a thing in progress, so that's okay. But notice it still says bookmark this link, even though there's no cursor, and bookmark this file. So that is pretty good, I think. Now we're going to have a problem with that in a second, but for the time being, def run self event, and if event is not none, then we can do stuff. This may require some modifications to how things work. This is the theory. Okay, so when the command is actually executed, we check to see if the point is in a link or not. If it is, we want to do something with the link. Otherwise, we want to do something else. Right now, if we look back to how we invoke hyperhelp prompt create bookmark, it can take a bookmark type and a bookmark name, right? And as such, here in the context, I'm going to paste that there. What we want is the bookmark type. So we can say that the bookmark type is equal to file because that's the default most of the time. But if the view match selector at the provided point is a link, then the bookmark type is equal to topic instead because that's the other type of thing. And then we can say sublime.run command hyperhelp prompt create bookmark. And we can pass arguments where bmark type is equal to bmark type. And we're going to test this with the actual cursor in the buffer because there's actually an issue with this. I'll join those together. Like so. What did I break? Oh, don't put that there. My bad. Reload that. So here just in the file, I'm going to say bookmark this file. And, ooh, multiple values for argument event? What? I've never seen that before. Oh. I'm a moron. Text command requires an edit argument because it might change the buffer. Okay, let's try that again. So here in the file, I pick bookmark this file, and global name V is not defined. Oh, yeesh. Self.view. Copy paste programming at its finest, man. Ninth time's the charm. Watch this. Right click, bookmark this file. The command palette opens with create a bookmark named Sublime plugin thing. So it's automatically trying to create the appropriate bookmark for this entire file. And I can say open bookmark topic, and this is the one it created. And it takes me there. I can also click in here and say bookmark this link. Now run got an expected keyword argument bmark type. Did I not? Where did this happen in Sublime plugin? Missing one required positional argument. Bmark name. Oh, I need to do that so we can double check this. So bookmark this file, works. Bookmark this link, works. I guess I didn't reload the plugin. So now it's actually going to try to bookmark that particular topic. So we can see that it totally did something. And when I open bookmark, it's down there and it's jumping to that actual that location. Now here's where it runs into problems. Okay, here's the cursor up here in text command want event. I right click on this and choose bookmark this link. And okay, well, that's an example of that bug I was, telling you about in the previous video. Sometimes when you invoke a command from the command palette, it picks the wrong thing. So I need to oh, I can't, huh? Okay, well, in that case, I need to do that. And let's say we go back to text command and try that again. And again, this is where I was. I'm in, the cursor's in there. And when I pick this and pick bookmark this link, the topic I get is Sublime plugin.text command class, even though I did it over the link and it said bookmark this link. And the reason for that is that the command up here, the prompt create bookmark command, when it uses the bookmark name input handler, and even here when it's running, it's looking at the current location in the buffer as for the selection to see if that text is link or not. But it's actually not, it's up here, but it so happens that the event in the context handler knows that that is a link. So potential solutions to that are to try to make this command take a topic or argument to use in place of that particular thing. I don't know that I necessarily like that. Here in context create command, I can actually set the setting to the selection to the event point in this particular case. And the timer is going to go off in 15 seconds here, but we're going to see this through. Probably not to me piecemealing out these commits because that part's not going to be interesting, but the code should be complete. So timer is up, and what we're going to say is here, this is the context command. If it got an event, which means that you interacted with it with the mouse, then the point is self window to text that's going to make this into basically wherever the cursor would be at that point. We default the bookmark type to file, but if the cursor is on a link, then we set it to topic, and we also say self.view.cell.clear and self.view.cell.add point. And sorry, sublime dot region point. So we'll see, I'm going to reload that to make sure. The cursor is up here in text command, but when I right click here, now you can see the cursor's still up there in text command. The cursor, my mouse cursor was on like the A in handler and command input handler. And when I pick bookmark this link, I get command input handler and the cursor is jumped to that location. Now, maybe that's not a particularly good way to go. I kind of expect this personally, the selection to jump to that particular location. Um, but failing that, the other way to do that is, well, no, yeah, we would have to really rethink this particular prompt create bookmark command because it makes sense that it uses the information from the buffer, right? So if necessary, we could rework this run to have an extra argument, like maybe a point that defaults to none and then it uses the selection, but otherwise it uses that point as the point that it might need. That is a way to go. I'm not going to do that right now, but basically, down here in our context, create bookmark command, we would add an extra argument of caret underscore pos, say, and its value would be none by default, but it would be the event position if event was passed. And then up here in the prompt create bookmark, it would be a new argument here. Everywhere we use view selection, we would modify it to say use the view selection to get view cell 0b, except when the parameter was given a none value, in which case use that as the point instead of wherever the cursor might be. And in that case, all of the places where we invoke something, including in the, well, these things here, we would pass args to the bookmark type input handler and the bookmark name input handler, so they would have access to the argument that was provided, so they would have that point, and then those classes would do the exact same thing. So I would probably create some sort of global, or not, well, module level function that takes as an argument a view and that caret position argument. And then it would say if caret position is not none, return caret position. But if view is none, then, or if the caret is none, then make sure that we get the first point from the first selection and return none. So all this place and the other place that does it would do the same thing. Now, I just want to verify what happens because, to be honest, I don't fully remember. Else sublime dot, oh, actually we would log cannot create a context sensitive bookmark without the mouse, and status equals true. That's not a very good message. We'll reload that whole plugin. But I think the idea there is if this is the place where the cursor is and I say view.run command, whoa, and the command to run is hyperhelp context create bookmark, is enabled as wishing one positional argument event. Yeah, okay. That is the missing point equals none. Okay, because normally you don't have an argument named event. If you call this, then when Sublime does it with the mouse, it will add an event argument. But if you don't do it with the mouse, it doesn't add an event argument, in which case this command automatically breaks So maybe I don't need to test if event is not none, and you would just get that. But that doesn't seem like a particularly nice error message, as opposed to how now that I've added that default, if I do this, um, oh, we saw it in the status line there, did we not? I saw it change. Hyperhelp context create bookmark. Um, hmm. That prints B and this prints A, because I might have spelled the command wrong. And reload context create bookmark. I am more than a little confused by that. It is a text command, so well, we'll do it this way. I'm going to print self.name. Reload. This is the name of the command. View.run command. There we go. How is that different from what I was doing? I don't know. In any case, I'm a little flustered there. So now, if I manually run the command, I get hyperhelp cannot create a context-sensitive bookmark without the mouse. And I think we also saw it in the status line there as well. We are going to remove that call. Now, this is one of those things, strictly needed, don't think so. It's clearly not a problem. And maybe it's doubly not a problem because this is really only something that a person needs to worry about when they're protecting the user from themselves. Because realistically, no one should be using context create bookmark, one would assume. But if someone wants to, it's nicer for them to say, no, no, you need to use the mouse to do that. And technically, what you need is to pass an event argument. So you would need to fake it out somehow. Oh my. But that's neither here nor there. So now we can say bookmark this file and we get text input class. We can bookmark this link and get command input handler. Apropos of that weird bug potentially causing problems. But now that I have it captured in a video, maybe actually I've captured that bug before when I was recording my video on common questions about scopes. So this says what? What was on the list? Finish the existing command, which needed to swap to handling on links instead of on anchors, which I did, and renamed it to something for it's prompting you to create a bookmark, which I did. And then we want a new command to actually do the bookmarks, which we created. That is the hyperhelp create bookmark command here that actually does the work. And then we want a context sensitive bookmark, which we did. And all that's left is examining the history and doing history related things. But for the time being, I have 5 unstaged files here, including a new nascent API function. Now that all of this stuff is done, I'm going to piecemeal it out and check it in, still inside the bookmark branch. And then I can go back and do this stuff in these things here. Um, for get bookmark name, bookmark add index, add bookmark. Uh, they should actually be in the core and not here in commands now that we sort of know what it is that we want them to do. And we'll actually change this to not to say that it's not coming from the settings file because like, currently this is the settings file. Do I still have that somewhere in here? I don't think I, oh yeah, we do, that one there. Um, Maybe we, want this to be in a separate settings file just for that whole rewriting thing, or maybe we want it in a JSON file, or maybe this is fine. So having this stuff abstracted away makes the code transparent because just the code here for get bookmarks and add bookmark is all that's needed to change to make the bookmarks go to and come from a JSON file or a completely different settings file, and all of the code is transparent, which is a great thing to do. But that is the end of this stream. We have by and gone past our 2-hour limit, so I'm going to go ahead and commit this stuff and do some sort of perhaps ancillary cleanup. And we will prepare for the next live stream this coming Wednesday night at 8 p.m. PST to start looking at what I think is the final of the major features that I wanted to get in place before trying to convert this thing into a dependency, which is going to be the subject of probably a few nights' work, because in order for it to be a proper dependency, we need to support bootstrapping, which is going to be a fairly intrusive change in the code um, because it's going to split commands and the core into different places, and everything's going to need to rejigger. So it's going to be interesting, I think. Actually, maybe the code's not quite as bad, but I think there's going to be some potential issues. If you'd like to follow along with that and see more package development, you can go ahead and subscribe to this channel and use the bell notification icon to be notified when I'm live. And I apologize, this week I didn't immediately schedule the next stream because I was particularly late and tired and not feeling good. And since I'm so used to doing it after every stream, I completely forgot about it. I'm going to go ahead and try to do that right as soon as this stream is done so that it's scheduled and you can come and get a reminder before it's actually happening. And you can subscribe to the channel to get those kinds of notifications. You can subscribe to my other channel, whose link is in the description for other Sublime Text videos. And you can ask questions here on the comment section of any of my videos or on Twitter at OdatNurd. And this week, let's go ahead and say, until next week, have a sublime day. Thank you so much for watching the stream.